All right. Happy to have you back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. Yes.
Also, you're the first DJ to come back on for a second time.
I'm honored.
I'm very happy to have you. I'm glad this worked out.
Anytime.
I know we've been trying to get it since I moved here in Denver, and it just like hasn't worked. And also me taking time off and everything, so it's just like unfortunate. But we're here now.
We're here now.
So happy to have you.
Thank you.
Well, it's been okay. So let's just do a brief catch up for those that don't know and those that aren't aware. Came on the podcast back when I lived in Tampa. Had a full studio. Obviously, we're in a whole different building and things right now.
Right.
We'll get the studio back here again. That is like a big goal. Again, we're progressively doing things. So we upgrade the mics, we'll upgrade this, then eventually this gets big enough, studio again. But last time I talked to you, you had, or during this time, it's been about a year actually.
It's been a little over a year, yeah.
A little over a year. So
Last
during this
April,
time, you've had some exciting things, some exciting adventures go on. So one of the things was you got to open for Barely Alive. I know that was a while ago, but I want to just give an update so people understand what's been happening since the last time you came on. So how was that? Because I went and saw your show here in Denver. It was awesome. We all thought you threw down, and we thought the crowd was super into it and awesome. And then you did like 5 or 6 more shows with him, I think in Arizona and California, right? Something like that?
Texas?
Okay.
California, Denver.
Nice.
It took me a minute to remember. This feels like forever ago.
No, I know it was. I just wanted to like do a quick catch up. But how was
good.
opening up for Barely Alive? How were those tour stops? Give us a quick little rundown.
Yeah, I went on tour with Barely Alive, and it was fucking awesome. I love Barely Alive, day one fan, so obviously it's full circle for me to be able to go. To play one show with them, let alone to go on a quick little tour with them. So. In short, it was awesome. Yeah, you were at the Denver show. It was so much fun. Shout out to Denver. I had never played at Real Works before, and I'm definitely trying to go back there. They were awesome. I played in Dallas. I played in San Marcos, which, for those of you who don't know, is a little bit outside of Austin. It's like a cute, cool college town. And then I played with a Bass Rush event, which was obviously the biggest show in San Francisco. So it was nothing short of amazing.
Good.
That's for sure, yeah.
And did you, now, refresh my memory too, because I can't remember. I thought you played a few other things as well. Am I?
You're right.
Okay.
I
And they
played
were more
with Level
local,
Up.
right?
Last year, I played with Level Up. I played with Phase One. If there were other
Level
things,
Up, wasn't
honestly.
that at
Seattle.
Why did I think I was at
I played with Jessica on
I'm
a
sorry.
Friday at Ogden.
Okay, there was someone.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Last year, it's hard to remember. There was a lot of shows last year, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have. So it's hard to remember all.
And as we just talked to, unfortunately, I was very out of it.
That's
I was
okay.
seen with just taking time off and readjusting at things. So my apologies. Normally, I should come more prepared. I have other things I'm prepared for.
It's totally fine.
But so that's what's been up to while you're coming on the EP. Let's just dive right into the EP stuff.
Okay,
right at
I'm
the
down.
beginning rather than at the end, and then we can do the other stuff wherever we go. But EP coming out, and this podcast will be out, I think, 2 days before it. 2 days.
It's coming out in 4 days.
Okay, so the podcast will be out 3 days before it.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so EP coming out in 3 days. Big EP. Talk about the process of making this EP, because something that I'm into is like that. I have a couple of other DJ friends and producer friends now, and they're process of sitting down and just making however many songs, but into sound design. How long did this? Let's start there. How long did the EP take?
Months.
Where you were finally
I would say.
I think I can submit this now.
Yeah, I would say it's hard to remember. So the long answer is there's a collab on my EP called Make You Say. The song's out right now. You can go listen to it with my friend Kay Woozy. We started ideas for that last year, and then we came to the conclusion of this is the song probably 4 months ago. So I would say maybe 4 months ago it got finished.
Oh yeah.
We could say January, February, March, April, maybe May is how long it took.
And it finishes,
We'll
and
go with
then
that.
from there, are you going into more? Then it's refining the sound, making sure they're good, all that stuff. Correct?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I would still say May.
Okay.
So kind of the way that I went about it is, again, my friend Kay Woozy and I, shout out to her. She's from New Mexico. We met last year at a show we both played. We were throwing a bunch of ideas back and forth. We couldn't really settle on anything. We were coming up. Sometimes you make a song and you're like, yeah, it's good enough, but it's not great. So we had a lot of good enough ideas that just weren't great and weren't good enough. So we made Make You Say in maybe one day when we started the idea over. We went off the intro melody on that one. There's another song on the EP called Other Side, and it's featuring my really good friend that I've known for like 10 years. He's from the UK. His name is Nat James.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He's on a lot of songs in our community. I can't think any off the top of my head. Humanshin has a song with him. But yeah, Nat James and I met on a website called Looperman 10 years ago, which is a sample website.
Okay.
And he would just post free samples of his vocals, and I was like, oh, I gotta make a song with Nat. So 10 years later, shout out to Nat, we finally made a song together. That song I probably finished in like 2 months.
So you were getting ahead of my questions, but we're going to
Sorry.
dive right into that right there, which was, I want to know with working with Nat James, and how was that for coordinating with vocalists, and because you have a vocalist on that song too, and then
Right.
you have the rap as well. So how was it coordinating with the vocalist and the rap artist to create that song? Because something that's interesting to me with that is like most dubstep you think of, you just don't think there's much lyrics. That's coming
Right.
back slowly but surely, which I'm here for. I'm a big proponent of that. I think that's like was missing from the scene for a while. And so I'm just curious how that is coordinated. Are you getting the vocals first and then making a track with it, or are you sending the track and going, what do you got for this?
In the past, it's been vocal first, but this time it was the song first. So we'll
Sweet.
call it just the instrumental. It was the instrumental first, and I found the female vocalist that's on it, and thought that it just sounded so cool. So it just turned to like this trap, EDM, dubstep thing. And then I was like, you know what would be cool? If you just had like a male rapper, like a feature with a female singer, because no one else is doing that. But it couldn't just, I know a lot of rappers, it couldn't just be anyone. It had to be Nat, because anyone that is listening, that's listened to his songs, he has a very smooth voice. It's almost like R&B mixed with hip hop in a way. It's very interesting. And the girl that's singing on the song, her voice is very smooth, kind of R&B, trap pop vibe. So I just sent him the song and was like, I don't know what he's gonna think about this, because he sings over trap, dubstep. This is like a whole different vibe. I didn't know what he'd think. And he was like, dude, never heard anything like this. I'm so down. And he sent me the vocal in like 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you were
how
just like,
simple
this
it was.
is perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So it
he's
is that
very
simple.
easy to work with. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. One thing I noticed for this is it seems to me that you pushed yourself a little bit with some of the sounds that are on this EP. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You're like
100%.
You're completely off basis,
You know.
perhaps. So that's why you could have said that too. But no, and I don't mean that. Hopefully, that didn't come across in a bad way. I think it was very refreshing to hear, and I think that's important that artists always push their sound and try new things. But it was very interesting to me because you had dubstep, you had rhythm, you had a little. To me, it sounded a little bit on the melodic side, and then you had a little bit more on the experimental side too. And we'll dive into that one song that I'll get into. But I just was very impressed with all that, and I wanted to confirm that my thesis was correct with that. And how was that process for you? I mean, was that challenging for you? Was that exciting for you? Like, walk us through that, because it is, again, as a fan and stuff, you're like, okay, it can go either way, as we know with like fans.
Right.
But in my opinion, I think it's awesome when people are challenging their sounds and making new things. So how's that for you, though?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the compliment and that you noticed. I feel like a lot of the time, not necessarily just me, but people in general, they're like, they sit down, they're like, I gotta make a banger. And you like put pressure on yourself that you have to make this like festival, big 8-bar fake out, like rhythm banger.
Yeah.
And that's just not what I was trying to do. I mean, I don't normally try and do that regardless, but with the EP, I knew if I did that to myself, I would be putting too much pressure on myself, overthink it, and I would never finish it. So I was just like, you wanna know what? I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna write songs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna write like, okay, 8-bar build, 8-bar drop, like this is a banger, not a lot of substance. I'm gonna write songs that are cohesive, that each one tells a story.
Yeah.
And that was actually easier for me to write than any of the other songs I've ever written.
You think it was easier because you enjoyed that more?
I enjoyed it more, and I'm more of a versatile producer. I'm not just a one-trick pony with just dubstep. I mean, I can make almost anything. So for me, being able to combine all these different genres and styles together was more fun for me. And it just feels like a bigger project because I'm writing songs. There's something different between a song and just like a track, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is.
I
I have zero producing skills. I have very minimal DJ skills, and that's about the extent. I mean, I have music in my background, but not to ever creating my own, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, this isn't a knock on anybody, right? But like in the past, I've written songs, and they're great songs. They've done really well. pretty simple, just like intro, simple build, just like rhythm drop, wah, wah, dubstep banger, just very, very simple. But when you're writing a song, I feel like there's way more that goes into it, like the lyrics, the rapper, the notes, the sound design, the layers, the drums, like mixing trap drums with dubstep drums with house drums or whatever. It's a lot more challenging, but it's a lot more fun.
Okay. Do you get caught up on the sound design of things? Do you get like in on that? No.
I should care more about it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But yeah, I just kind of just go with it, and then at the end, I'll just fix stuff that doesn't sound that good.
I mean, there's
like I just throw it all down, and then I'll fix it later.
I mean, there's 1,000 ways to do it too. I don't think there's any one way. But I have a buddy who like he gets like I think he goes the opposite. He's like too into it. Like he'll be on a track and he'll be designing it for what seems like months on end, and then he finally finishes it. And I've been on the side of for him, especially as he's like up and coming. I'm like maybe just pump some shit out first, and then get like really specific. I don't know if that makes it. Again,
I mean, I used to
1,000
do
ways
that,
to do it. Yeah.
but no hate though. Everyone's different.
Correct.
Some people take years to make songs.
Yeah.
But a side note is I feel like in EDM is the only genre where we're expected to finish songs quick and put them out right away. But like other genres, like Ariana Grande takes 3 years to make an album and everyone's cool with it.
Yeah.
But like in EDM, there's something about it that it's got to be quick.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think?
So I do get it.
This is interesting. This will be an interesting question. This is not something I had written down.
Okay.
But when it comes to the EPs and like the albums and all of that, and then the singles, what is your obviously this is a 4-song EP releasing, so don't hate me for this question.
I don't.
But what is your thought with how the scene has very much been like they release a single or and then that single is either on the EP or the single is on the album that eventually comes out. What is your thought on that? Is that something that you think is like, I'll give you my opinion as a fan that's just around. Like, I'm starting to be like, oh, there's no shock factor to like someone dropping a 9-song album and me not knowing like one song. It's like I always know at least 4 or 5, you know? If not more, depending on if they're throwing it in their set or something for the year. Like perfect example, no hate, King of Dubstep, Excision, right?
Right.
But he has songs, and like there's been times where like the albums come out, and you're like, oh, I know all of these because they've been played out. And maybe that's because I saw them a lot. Guilty as charged. Don't come for me. But just curious, and I just noticed like this weekend, Travis Scott and someone released an album this morning at like 6 a.m. I was talking about it with my roommate. It's gonna kill me that I can't remember who it was. But regardless, point being, no one knew it was coming. There was no like hype. There was no like 1-song single dropped, and then like boom, it was just out.
That's what Justin Bieber did on Friday.
Yeah. Okay. See. Okay. So I'm pumped that that's coming back because I just started talking about this in my head where I'm like, I feel like there's no surprise or shock value. But from a producer and standpoint, what are your thoughts with that? Is that outside pressure that's making people do that, or is that like just the way that the roadmap has been laid out for the past couple of years and people are doing that?
I think there's 2 sides of it. First, it is the roadmap. Everybody does that. Whether it's someone like I said, Ariana Grande, or it is Excision. It's a pretty standard practice in music to come out with a lead single. Some people come out with a few. But it also depends how big you are.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not on a lot of people's radar. So I've got to put something out to start rolling and promoting a body of work. Whereas Subtronics, he doesn't need to say a word. He can just surprise drop an album and everybody's going to listen to it and everybody's going to care about it.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're smaller, it's not as easy to get people to look at you and pay attention to what you're doing.
Made a lot of sense when you word it like that. Like I have to at least put things out. So if it's going to be, 4 singles that eventually go into an album, like I need to do that to roll things out. So that way I'm continuously doing things. No, that makes a lot of sense when you word it like that. I take it back now. I'm no longer.
Yeah. It's kind of important for people like me. Other people, Travis Scott doesn't need to do. Beyonce, didn't she drop Cowboy Carter with no? I think it was Cowboy Carter, but some album she did. There was no plan, Lemonade or something. She just dropped it.
Right.
But everybody cares about her, so it doesn't matter. But people like me, I'm like, please care about me.
What's the thought?
Here's my song.
What's the thought on that when it comes to people's attention spans decreasing in a sense? And you hear that all the time. At least I do because I'm in the marketing world. Like, people's attention spans are horrible. Which, by the way, I think that trend is. I think it's going back the other way slowly but surely.
Hopefully.
But that's the whole nother story, and I have a whole reason why for that. But that's a main reason why I think people like, if the attention span's low, it's like better for just drop something brand new, boom, and then here it is. Because if you hype it, you can't, weird way, like you can't hype it up for too long because they're going to be like, I don't know, I don't care. Where is it? Like,
right.
Because like if you take it and you extend it, and they're waiting, and they're like, well, I'm already on to the next thing already. maybe.
Well, I think, again, I feel like that's unique to EDM. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because Taylor Swift can tease an album for 10 years and people are every day are going to be wanting it.
And that could just be because of the size that she is at. Like that level of like 90 million people following you.
Right.
Just you put something out and they're going to they're waiting, they're hyped for it. Yeah, I got you.
I just still think in EDM, things are just the way people go about things is quick, especially with TikTok and stuff. So for me, like I'm only hyping my EP up for like a week, but I've been dropping stuff about it for months.
Right.
But this week is all about just pumping it out. And a lot of that has to do with social media.
Of course.
Because when you post one thing, you can't expect all 5,000 of your followers to see it.
Yeah.
You have to post every day to get a little bit of your audience every day. So by the time the EP or the song, whatever it is, comes out, most people who follow you on social media have seen you talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into social. I don't want to take away from the EP talk. Sorry,
right.
We're diverging. We will get into that because obviously that's where I come from. That's my whole background. So, but I have one more question, or I actually probably have two more. Okay, so speaking of like pushing your sounds and whatnot, one of the songs that stood out to me the most, can I say the names of the songs?
Yeah, go for it.
Just making sure. One of the songs that stood out to me before was One More Time. One More Time. And the first drop specifically, both drops are unique for the record. So, and push your sound as far as I know it. But that first drop to me was a little bit more on that melodic side, but still that heavy bass. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm definitely no genius, but I just love the way that first drop was.
I appreciate it.
And so I'm curious, like, what was that process for you? Was that something that was challenging for you to do because it sounded so different and unique? Or were you like, that was actually something I enjoyed doing, it was super easy for me to do?
Well, like I did enjoy doing it, but it was hard. I've never made a melodic song in my life. I literally make up like heavy, insane dubstep. So that song was a dubstep song that I was just messing around. I started making chords, never made chords in my entire life. Started making chords and I was like, I'm making some type of melodic experimental like Wakan type song, and I've never made anything like that. So Amazing. It was actually really, really fun, and it wasn't as hard as other songs I've made. Okay. Which is interesting. Huh. Yeah. I love that song. I'm glad that you like it too. I don't think people are expecting that song. And
not to discredit or not highlight, but the second drop was very good as well, but way different. And I obviously lean way more on the melodic side of things, so that's why.
Like the experimental bass one?
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yes, it's interesting. Yes,
I love it.
Yes. And again, no hate to experimental bass, just not my go-to thing. So that's why the melodic drop stood out to me the most, because I was like, whoa, where is this coming from?
Well, the experimental bass isn't my thing either, but I did it anyways because I don't even care. I just want to do whatever.
No, 100%.
Yeah, so I was like, let's just do it. I know you like melodic dubstep because it's 7 lines.
Yeah, I had to dive into that because it's one of my favorites. Cool. Those are some of the main questions I had. But on that note, with just saying you love to do it, is it just that app that sorry, totally lost it.
You're good.
I'm like the stuttering interviewer right now. I'm like, no, I'm kidding. But
it's because you're so starstruck by me. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. Put a pin in that. We got a story about that. But no, what made it just the fun part of it? Really, is that what made that just those drops and things so much easier for you going about it? Like you say, like you said, the melodic thing is something you haven't done, but it was easy for you. So was it because like the aspect of like I got to do what I wanted to do for this?
Yes, not that I ever don't do what I want to do, but I just felt so free making my EP, just having fun, sitting down. In songwriting. And that's also what I meant before by saying I'm making songs. I'm songwriting. Yeah. Not everybody's songwriting when they're making music, believe it or not. I'm not going to go in depth about that and nerd out about that, but it just felt like I'm sitting there creating songs and I'm making this music that will be timeless for myself and my project.
Right.
Which is super, super, super important.
I think so. I mean, I think that's awesome. The element of fun is where I've been viewing things through that lens now, and I think it makes everything so much more easier in a sense, because you put a lot, like you mentioned this earlier, like you kind of put a pressure on yourself, and then you start getting maybe robotic about it, or I've got to do this by this time, and then this song release, versus just like enjoying the process, or what some say of like getting back to the roots that you started. Like, why did you start?
Yes.
Because you had fun with it. And then that's like getting back to that. And I've been approaching a lot of things in life like that. So I'm happy to hear that you approach this EP of that nature with that, because I think it does change a lot of things. I think it does. Like you said, it makes it easier. It just all around, everything about the creativeness behind it. And I think people can feel that energy too when you're like just enjoying it and having a good time versus like sticking to a thing and like being, you know,
the same
strict about it. Yeah. Or having those rigid guidelines or something.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the back to the roots thing, because that's a lot of what the EP is about.
Okay.
So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. When you go back to your roots, I feel like you're being more yourself.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I felt like for me, my roots is I just love music and I love songwriting and lyrics and writing chords and melodies and things like that, instead of just being like, oh, I'm going to do quarter note. Not hating on that. I literally write music like that, you guys. I'm not hating. I'm just saying just like making music and songwriting. And taking little things from a lot of artists that I love outside of EDM too. So going back to your roots.
Is that something you think you're going to continue going on?
I definitely. I mean, I always take some inspiration from people outside of EDM when I'm making songs.
Well, I mean, just sticking with like the idea of like fun. Sticking with that idea of going forward, like in your next EP, your next album that you're going on, like that's the idea. Is like fun.
It's just easier said than done.
Oh, 100%. No, I mean,
like sit down and chill and have fun when you're making music.
Yeah,
sometimes that's hard.
Yes.
So
I mean, I think with any I'm gonna apply it and talk about myself for a second, but like with this stuff, like you knew what I was doing. I was doing a ton of different content. I was also, you saw my last studio where I was also doing Amazon like resell of items and things of that nature.
I forgot about that.
I was doing all these different things, and then I like finally had an epiphany like this year where I was like, I'm not having fun doing all of this, so I'm just gonna stop everything and like figure out, I'll realign with again myself. I'm like, what is it that I have fun with, and then go like full steam ahead at those things that I'm having fun. And it's even with my even with content, not to go. It's gonna come back to content somehow because
no,
that's
I
the
know.
world
I'm thinking about it too.
But like even with that, I've kind of come to the conclusion of like, I'm just going to have fun with it. Now, there is a difference, and we can get into this, but there is a difference when it is in regards to your business or work versus like my account is a creator account. I can take that now and go, I don't want to take this so serious. I just want to have fun with it and put out fun content. So I don't want to make a video on festivals anymore, that I'm not going to.
Yeah.
But if that was my main source, okay, the podcast, actually we'll pivot. The podcast, on the other hand, I do need to be a little bit more strict and serious with on the content side of things, because that is what I want to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a big distinction of like, where's my focus? Okay, yes, I want to have fun with the podcast. So what does that include? These fun conversations and these things like that. But if I want the podcast to be successful, the work behind the scenes is the content that comes out from these episodes. So there's fun on the front end, but then there is work on the back end that needs to get done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to go nowhere. And that's like a big differentiator between like creator having fun and podcast having fun, but also having to do work because I want it to go somewhere. There's a big distinction with that. And I think people need to note that, because like I said, with my creator stuff, I'm like, I only want to make content that I enjoy when it comes to like Instagram and TikTok now. And so I'm not like making that a focus for me anymore. But on this thing, this is a focus. So I do have to be a little like, hey, more strict. Again, like fun on the front end. This stuff, I love this thing. Like having fun, talking to people, sitting down and just babbling on for hours. That's fun to me. But at the same time, if I want us to grow, I have to do the things that make it grow, you know? So I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. There's a good balance between the two, but at the same time, like if there's something that is taking you away from your main goal, make that fun and don't make that so serious anymore. You know?
I agree with that. I mean, and not to get into the content thing like you just said, but I think that's one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn with my project, specifically with social media. And I think a lot of people are the same way. Is people like, and I heard Ray Volpe talk about this on a podcast a couple years ago. He's like, people don't hate making content; they just hate the content they're making. But if you do, you know, even if it's a hard post, it's on a video. Yeah. If what you did was fun for you, then it's going to be easy for you to make. Like there's been times where I'm sitting there recording a video and I'm like getting frustrated. This is stupid. I look stupid, and that's because it was the type of content I was trying to make. So I would switch to a different type of content I'm trying to make when it comes to video. And it's like easy and fun, and I get it in one take, and I have like 6 videos from it. Yeah. So then having fun's the key here, kids. But
no, I totally agree with that.
It's easier said than done because you overthink it, and all this stuff. So
And you get caught up in like, I
Yeah.
need to be doing X, Y, Z. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, a perfect example was when I was making rave content. Like, I would go really hard at it and be like, gotta post, every day, 2 to 3 times a day. Like, there was a period where I was doing like 3
That's a
videos
lot.
a day for
I
like
give
2
you
months.
kudos. Yeah.
And then I got super burnt out because also like I would get to like a 4-month mark and then I'd be like, I just don't want to make any more rave videos. Like, I just don't like, because
Yeah.
I'm so much more than just this person who goes to raves. Like, I mean, like, yes, was that a big part of my life? 100%. Do I still love that music? 100%. But
Yeah.
I also like to travel. I also like hiking. I also have an interest in politics. I also have an interest in finance. Like, there's all these other things that I'm way more interested in
Than making
just
rave
one
videos?
thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I'm like, why would I only make rave videos? Like, I don't know if and then obviously I took a long break for that reason because I was like, I need to readjust. What is it that I like? And then just make content around that and just have fun with it. And if it goes good, it goes good. And if it doesn't, who cares on Instagram? Yeah. And then again, like, okay, I love the podcast, so I do need to be a little serious about that and what's going to happen. But the other shit, fuck it, we're going to have fun. We're just going to have
Exactly.
fun. And it has been such a turn because it's like, and it doesn't again, like, there's some things that I post something and it gets 100,000 views and I'm like, shit, all right, I guess that worked out. And then some posting to get 2,000 and I'm like, you know what? I had fun making that. At least I did post something I want.
Yeah.
Now, this will be interesting because this is something I've been learning at my my new job. I've floated between sales and marketing like my whole career. So right now I'm back at marketing.
Perfect.
But my boss and manager has really challenged me with marketing and specifically social media and content. And something I never thought about when it came to content, it might be coming from a creator side of things. I'm curious to see if you have that similar take, but like when it came to like a creator thing, it was like, let's just put things out and just put them out. Like, who cares? But when it comes to a business, there is a bit more of like, or there should be, I should say, a bit more thinking about why you're posting what you're posting.
Agreed.
And that was something, not that I never thought of it like that, but the way she worded it, I was just like, interesting. I have not given it that much thought. And then she recommended a seminar thing for me to watch. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I watched it. And the second I'm like listening to them talk about it, and then I'm thinking in my own head, not just about the company that I'm working for, but I'm also thinking like, how do I apply this to myself? And basically what they had done is they had divided content into 3 pillars. And the pillar 1 is, how are you attracting an audience to you? Pillar 2 is, how are you creating lead from it from a business standpoint? For us, it'd be like, how do we get them to follow us?
Yeah, follower.
What's the reason they're going to follow us? And then the third one was, how do I create content that creates loyalty to me or whoever? So that was a big thing. And I looked at all those. And so pillar 1, I call it pillar 1. Pillar 1 of like getting people to your page. And it's content that is just generic. Like,
yeah.
if anyone else posted it, they would find it funny or interesting. So it's not necessarily about Thrasha.
More generalized.
Yeah. And it should be like 40 to 60% of your content, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to grow, probably maybe more. And then 2, more about yourself and like why they're following you, or a bit more into like the technical aspects of DJing, things like that. And then 3, building that brand loyalty. Hey guys, I'm here, I'm doing this, check this out. I made this song because you guys requested a second one, you requested a VIP, you requested an edit or a remix, things like that. So I don't know, it was very interesting when I started looking at it through that lens, because now I'm like, it's like, why am I posting what I'm posting, But I don't know, interesting. What is your take on this?
Oh, I just agree with it.
Okay.
No, I agree. That's why I'm letting you do the talking, because I totally agree with it. I think when you're first posting on socials, we'll obviously talk about in EDM being an artist from my perspective.
Let's do that. I'm down.
You don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be posting. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the caption should be. Like, what should the song be? I'm serious. It's that deep when you're posting, especially when you first start out and you don't have shows, you don't have a following. Maybe you don't even have a song out. You have no idea what you're supposed to be posting.
Right.
That was a big struggle for me for, the beginning stages of my project. But I will say more recently, like this year, I've been thinking of it in the way that you're explaining it, is the 3 pillars, which is very common. You can look it up, and you guys who are listening, learn about it. But if you're not posting something onto your page, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is, that's for your fans that are curated for them, then you should be posting it.
Right.
So there's posts people make, which I call our throwaway posts. I used to do them all the time. We're like, I feel like I have to post because I'm posted today, and you'll just post something random that means nothing.
Yeah.
And even if it gets some engagement, it's just like you're just throwing something at the wall and guessing.
And you got to kind of do that at the beginning, 100%.
And you do have to do that in the beginning. I think once you're more like honed into your audience, you have more of a following, it's almost easier to post because you know more of what they like, and you're more confident being yourself.
100%.
You know? So yeah, the 3 pillars, I'm big on the 3 pillars that you're talking about.
It's just very, and I think that's the way the algorithms and content is all going nowadays. It's also being like more specific. So I think there's still people, actually I will say this, I do think there is still validity to like posting every day, but then I look at it and I'm like, well, if your idea is that you're gonna create organic content and you're eventually gonna get people, the volume has to be like insane. Like, you know, like Gary Vee talked about that. I'm like, well, he's right, but like he also throws, 60 pieces of content at the wall a day, and like, 2 of them hit. He's 2 for 60, but like it works because of the pure volume. And I mean, he has a whole team behind him, but that does still stand. Like if you can do that and do it consistently, like it is inevitably going to work because you're putting so much time and effort into it and stuff like that, and the way like energy in the universe works. But that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, right.
But then if you're trying to like manage creating music, going on tour, going to play shows, it does need to be a little bit more like precise and like we're gonna do these things very well, because it's just you can't at this stage handle that volume.
Right.
You can get to that point, of course. Like there's 1,000 ways to do that and get to that point, but it's just like it's not. In my head, it's like not doable. I also saw something. Actually, I'm curious what you think about this. I'm sorry we're going so into content, everybody.
No, it's fine.
But I saw something too where someone was like, instead of you have like, okay, again, I'll use Gary Vee as an example. Gary Vee, he should be posting, once a day minimum on every platform. Okay, but then I had someone else who was like, well, what if you just focused solely on Instagram and you posted 2 to 3 times a day, but you only did Instagram. You did nothing else. You probably would be able to grow on that because you'd be very focused and very in tune to how that platform works and what's working, and you'd eventually hit it good because you'd know what exactly to be posting for 2 to 3 times a day. And I was like, that is so interesting because they're probably 100% right. That is not what's advised by anybody if you think about it.
I know, but that's what I do.
You just focus on one?
I mainly focus on Instagram. I don't use X. I haven't used X in probably 6 months.
Yeah.
I do use TikTok. I don't post on it every day, which is ironic because people say that TikTok's the easiest platform to grow on, but I put everything into Instagram.
And and
it works.
You think it's working?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I love Instagram.
I think it's a new, we might see more people talking about it, but it might be a new model to go after things. I was very intrigued by that when they were talking about it. So I was like, that goes against like everything these big social media gurus talk about, which is like maximize everything on every platform. And again, there's like some truth to that. Like there's like, if I do video, I put it on TikTok regardless. And there's times where like
agreed.
TikTok, it works. And then there's times where it gets less views than Instagram. There's other times where like it blows up on TikTok and doesn't do anything on Instagram.
Yeah, I think that the videos, it's important to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you might as well.
You might as well, and post it. It's posted the same day, different times a day, but I like Instagram. Instagram, I actually enjoy using it. I think that's the difference.
That's true.
Some people post
back
maybe
to the fun.
On X, and back to the fun. Maybe they post on X, formerly known as Twitter, and they hate it.
Yeah.
Like they hate the platform.
We call it Twitter here still.
Yeah, I love Instagram, so that's why I love going on Instagram and posting and talking to people and engaging with people. Yeah. So, I'm big on Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. It's just not, like I said, it's something that's just not talked about with everybody. Like that's not something that they ever mention, like focus on one.
Well, I'm ahead of the curve because I've been doing that.
Okay.
All right. I've been focusing on Instagram, everybody, so.
Keep it up.
I'm a trendsetter, yeah.
Keep it up. With that new tattoo?
I did get a new tattoo for those who were watching the
Flex
video.
it. Flex it.
Flex it. Yeah.
Are you building out the sleeve?
I am. It's just like a lot of time and effort and money. So I took a break
I know.
from getting tattoos for a while, and now I'm full steam ahead. So probably by the
Like
end
you're
of the
going
year.
back? Oh, okay,
Oh
okay.
no, like full steam ahead, like getting all of them done by the end of the year. Hopefully the rest of all this is done for those watching the video.
Yeah.
And then do my whole right arm.
So 2 sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then be done.
Nice. Same theme on each side? Or something different on each side?
Who knows?
Don't,
It could
just
go,
whatever. Okay.
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just so stressful sometimes.
Oh, okay. I won't.
Like coming up with all the stuff and making sure it fits and
I won't go too.
everything.
I won't go
It's a
too
lot.
into the tattoo process. So do you see a design that you want, or are you like I'm gonna go today and get something?
I always plan it in advance, but I'm like visually challenged. Like I'm not a visually creative person. So some people are like, oh, I want like this snake and like this skull on this sword with this guy and he's doing this. I'm not like that. I'm like, hey, can you tattoo like a Grim Reaper and a skateboard on my arm and like make it cool?
Yeah.
And my tattoo artist just makes this thing out of it.
Gotcha.
So I just come up with like a very, very rough concept and
Okay.
bring it to my tattoo artist. I'm like, hey, like, can you help a girl out?
Props. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not.
and he just does the whole thing for me.
Yeah, I'm not super visually with that either.
I'm really bad at
but I
visual
do plan
things.
ahead. I'm not. I've gotten one tattoo like day of, and I fucking hate it. And
I've never done
everything-
that.
Actually, I don't hate it, but it didn't come out as big as I wanted. And so
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like, fuck, I gotta think of something to go like to incorporate this better because I don't like the sizing of it. But the other tattoos, I like think about them for a while and then I get them. And
I am the same
slowly
way.
Get it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I'm not hating. I could never just be like, let's just get that today. I'm like,
A lot of people do that, and I love that for you guys, but I don't love that for me.
Yeah, yeah.
At all. So you keep doing you. So I'm gonna do me.
I need. If it's going on me forever, which it is, I can't just willy nilly that.
No. This, I was like scared of doing this. Again, if you're not watching the video, I have a big tattoo on my forearm. It took me 2 years to go through with it because I was just like, okay, I've looked at like my forearm my entire life, and then if I get a tattoo, my forearm's gone. And
That's
I don't know
true.
why that fucked with me for so long, and then I got
It's a
it.
funny way of looking at it.
And I'm like, damn, I look so fucking cool. You know? I'm like, shit. So now I'm just gonna tattoo the rest of my freaking arm.
I
You
had
know?
a guy tell me that when one of my tattoo artists back in Florida was like, every time, I don't know, someone was getting like on their knee, like their whole kneecap they were getting done. He was like, I don't know how he's doing it, but I know if I was in a position, I would be sitting there telling myself, I just know I'm gonna look really cool after
Yeah,
this.
like
That's
I
the
just
only
look
thing
so
I can
cool.
do.
So, you know.
Yeah. It's a big thing now, tattoos. Our parents used to hate them.
I've been getting tattoos since I turned 18. So
Parents didn't have a choice.
I would hide them. So like my first tattoo is on my hip because it was easy to hide. It's very small, it's nothing major. It's not color or anything like that. I'm not going to say what it is, but
No.
it's on my hip and it was easy to hide.
Come to the show. No,
Yeah, you can come to the show and come and look, but I'm not going to say it on the audio. It's something bad. I'm making it sound worse than what it is. Then I got a tattoo on my ribs. Again, you can't see it. I would hide it from my mom. And then I got a little tattoo on my shoulder blade. I was like, cool, I just keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
And then once I moved out and I was college age, 21.
Call me on shots.
Yeah, I was like, I'm, again, doing me. And I just started tattooing my arms. So I've always liked tattoos, so this is no surprise to anyone.
No, I went with this is a tidbit if your parents are against tattoos. I went and got my grandfather's birthday, because I was close to him, and I got it on my wrist. And not nothing big, you can see it, it's not big.
I like
but
it.
They were like, okay, that's pretty sweet. But then I was like, floodgates are open now. I can
Yeah.
do whatever I want. Because I could get the first one, and it was again, I got the first one. It was something very sentimental, very sweet. And they're like, well, we can't be mad at that. I'm like, well, now you can't be
I
mad.
like it.
Now you can't be mad at
Roman
anything
numerals are
going
classic.
forward. Yeah.
Classic tattoo, Roman numerals.
To be fair, I did get this from a buddy. He got his mom or dad or something, and I was like, I'm copying that, by the way. Like, I like that a lot. And so,
I think with tattoos too, certain designs are timeless. Like Roman numerals, timeless.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why I got a skull with roses and stuff, because that's a timeless, classic tattoo that's never gonna go out of style.
it's true.
So that's part of my decision making with tattoos as well, is
Yeah.
I go for a timeless piece.
Speaking of
So,
artwork,
yeah.
how did you design the artwork on the EP?
I did design the artwork
No
on
way.
the EP, yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's sick.
I just wanted to make something fun and cool and edgy, but also kind of feminine a little bit with
Yeah.
the lips. The lead single off the EP is called Make You Say. When you're talking,
Yeah.
of course, you're using your mouth in theory, right? So I wanted to keep that image of like the mouth, the lips on the forefront, and that's why that's the main image on the EP artwork.
No, it was very nice. I like the coloring with it too.
Oh, I appreciate
also,
it.
like very different color than I would expect
I know.
Yeah.
I'm switching it up. A new era is going to begin right now with this EP. So
next time you're here, it's no bandana. You got your hair up.
No,
you
the
got makeup
bandana's
on.
the bandana is like surgically attached to my head. Yeah. So the bandana just stays on, like it's never coming off of my head.
Funny, like you're like new era, and it's like lip gloss. You're like everything that's totally different now.
Yeah, I would say the art design and like the vibe, visually, aesthetically, is changing.
Yeah.
Before I was kind of like doing this medieval thing because I just like medieval things. It's not really that deep, the thought process behind it. And then I was like, I don't really see how that attaches to Thrasha, which is like this totally separate thing.
Yeah.
So the new art direction, which of course everyone who's listening will see when the EP drops, just seems more in tune with Thrash and what Thrash is and how I am. You know me in person.
Yeah.
Of how I am. It just feels more my vibe.
Perfect.
So I'm running with it.
Yeah, no
And go figure, I'm the one that like came up with the idea for the artwork.
No, that's
it's
awesome.
almost as if I trust myself. Like it's crazy what happens, right?
I mean, look, it's crazy when you have, when
I'm
you
confident in myself.
I mean, there's so like we do that all the time throughout our, like you have those gut feelings, and like so many times you just push that aside for like everything, you know. And don't get me wrong, obviously there are times where you overthink things and you are in the wrong for overthinking it, but you're pretty spot on. Like your body, yourself, like you know what it is, and like half the time we just talk ourselves out of that shit.
Exactly.
Like it's just crazy. Like I think your biggest, not your, but like as a person's biggest weapon, like or defense shield. Yeah, it could be any of those if you want to describe it as that. Like is themselves, like being in tune with yourself. But so many of us don't want to sit and be that in tune with ourselves either. Like because you gotta face. In order to get to that level where you're like in tune with yourself, you got to fight through the demons and the dark shit first to get out of that, and then you're like, oh, now I'm aligned. Like it's just not. That's how it is. That's how it works. You got to get through the bullshit to then be like, oh, now I can talk to myself about things and not to freak out.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just like more in tune, with myself. I mean, I've always been in tune with myself and comfortable with myself and mostly confident in myself. But when you're doing a music project, it's just like different. Like trusting yourself because you're so public facing.
Yeah.
You know, like trusting yourself, putting yourself out there. So that's why, again, going back to the EP, this EP is my most prized possession, to be honest, when it comes to music that I've made. I think I've got like 15, 20 songs or something like that, mixes, remixes. These 4 songs, I think, are the most important ones I've ever written so far. Because they're so authentic to me, to Thrasha, you know? And the artwork plays into that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that authenticity, it's quite freeing.
It feels great, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So.
I think I said that, I think like a word to the wise type of thing. I like said something this weekend. Someone was like, you just doing what you want to do. And I just leaned in and I was like, it's pretty freeing when you do what you want to do.
Feels
and then I just like took a bite of pizza and walked away. Yeah. And they're like, what the? Just dropping wisdom on a Saturday.
Yeah. Well, dude, I feel like people, like a lot of people in music in general, but of course EDM, they do what they think people want them to do.
Yeah.
Some people chase trends. We can use the recent like up in 2000s remixes. I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying a lot of people feel like, oh, like even if I don't want to do that, I see other people doing it. Like Levity's doing it, and like it's popping off for them.
Yeah.
So some people, it's more of like, oh, I want to try that, and like that sounds like fun, and they're enjoying it. But I think there's a lot of people that they're doing it because they feel like they have to do it because it's working for other people.
Well,
but that doesn't mean it's going to work for them.
That's true. And
you
to
know
that,
what I mean?
100%. And to that, I think, I think there was a need for that in the scene because for some reason it just like went away in 2017, or 2018. Like I remember going to my first like 3 or 4 festivals. Everyone's doing like rap remixes. You got Drake, 21 Savage on. Like that shit was fun. Like, and they didn't necessarily release those at the time either. Laws are a lot different then until like TikTok and all that now. But like they were in sets and stuff, and then it went away for a while. There was nothing. It was just whatever songs they picked from other artists or they were not releasing yet. And not that that was bad, but just like there was just like always something missing. And then now that it's resurgence is coming back. But I do think, again, going back to like our authentic self and stuff of that nature, like you should pick songs that you also like. Like
exactly.
If you like a Britney Spears song, remix that Britney Spears song. But don't hop on the trend of remixing Drake if you hate Drake songs. Like you should already have a passion for that. Like, oh, I actually kind of like this rap. This is a good Kendrick song. I like Kendrick. then go for that. Like, but if you're like, I'm not really into rap, then do what someone else is, do. If you're into country music, like figure that out. That'd be interesting because there's like definitely a huge gap there. But I know like who is it, like Moonlight's doing something like that, and I think there's definitely a scene there for it.
Yes, there is.
But it's very hard to do on the flip side. So, but my point just being, if you like a certain genre, you also like making electric dance music. Find a way to combine them. Probably going to enjoy it a lot more than forcing yourself to do something you don't want.
Tape B is the best example of that right now.
Yeah, and he likes that stuff.
And it's because he loves that. Exactly. Right. So like the cartoons, like he genuinely is like really into hip hop, rap, that music. So for him, that's probably so easy and fun and carefree for him to make those remixes.
I had a buddy on episode 120 for those who want to go listen. I had a buddy on who is a DJ, 9 before 9, and he met Tape B and they were talking. He was like, dude, I just love what you're doing. And he goes, I appreciate it, but it is just the music I like. Like I'm just like I'm
so
doing
it's easy
nothing
for him.
Crazy, right? Mm-hmm. He was like he said it the way my buddy described it was like he literally said it in such a chill, like nonchalant manner, like not to be like all that or anything, but just like he's like, dude, I'm just making music I love.
Because to him, it's no big deal.
Right.
It's just like another day for him. Just like, oh yeah, I'm mixing ASAP Rocky songs and like people love it.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
I'd be doing this even if people didn't like it.
Yeah, and I'm sure that he has so many other remixes. Like a lot of people I know that when they started producing, they produced remixes. Yeah. That's how I started remixing hip hop songs. That's how a lot of people start. So
heck yeah.
I'm sure that he was waiting for the opportunity to finally start putting these songs out.
Yeah, going on that, I think a great word to the wise. I don't remember. People probably heard this quote before, but I say it all the time to people. I'm like, if you won the lottery today, what is it that you do? Obviously, for most people, I mean, hopefully you have a job you like. But for most people, they're probably going to go, I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what are you going to do? Like, you're not just going to sit around. You might sit around for a little bit, but like, what is it then? Like, what's the passion project? You have all the money. You don't have to worry about money anymore. What's the passion project? Okay, you've got it. That's what you need to start going after. Like, I think that's like such a simplistic thing of like, yeah, if you already had everything you don't have to worry about, what are you going to start working on? And then and then I guess you should do
probably
that.
Start doing that. Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be just, this. It could be music or whatever. But like you answer that and then you go, oh, okay, I'm just going to do that. And then like there it is. There's the fun. There's passion in it.
100%.
And you just got to navigate doing it, which is, not fun. But
that's the interesting
that's
part.
But you got to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some food for thought. Yeah.
What else I got for us today? Yeah.
That
was a lot. That was a lot right there. That was a little too deep of a question.
About it.
I know.
That's why we're pausing. If you're not watching the video, we're just looking at each other.
No, yeah. Well, it's such a open-ended thing, but it is like it hits the nail around the head with the hammer. Whatever the other saying is.
Yeah.
We got one good wisdom in on this one. We don't need another quote.
Totally.
How long have you been out here in Denver?
I've been in Denver for almost 5 years. Since September. I moved here during COVID, during 2020.
How was that?
It was very interesting, but I had already committed to moving here a year before I came here because I spent obviously a year getting my ducks in the row, saving money, doing things I needed to do. So when I moved out here, obviously COVID happened in March 2020, for those who don't remember. And I had already signed the lease, so like I was locked in with my best friend and we're like, we're gonna go do this thing. So I drove all the way here, and those who live in Colorado that are listening, they had these crazy wildfires here when I moved here. Like the sky was orange and there was like ash. It seemed like it was falling from the sky. It was just in the air. And I remember me and my best friend at the time, we had like our COVID masks on and we're like on the side of the road and we just like look around. We're like, yo, is this just how these people live? Like, they just live with ash falling from the sky and there's fires everywhere. Like, it was so weird at the time. I love it here, but that was my experience moving here. We were like, what is
happening?
Going on?
Funny you say that. Actually, that's actually super funny because when I moved here, I was like, I drove out from Florida.
Yeah, which is crazy.
30-hour drive. I split it up, which is I would recommend. But I'm coming in the last 8 hours from Kansas City to here, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna make it, thank God. And I remember being like, I'm gonna be so excited to see the mountains, like so excited. And when I pulled up, I also didn't know there were forest fires going on that were like super close. I pulled up and it was so hazy that I couldn't see the mountains from anywhere. And it was like, and then I was like, well, okay, fine. I'll see them tomorrow whenever this clears up. It didn't clear up for like a week.
Yeah. That sounds like my experience.
I remember calling my mom because, also at that time of my life, like things were just not going well for me. So I was like, it's just going to be, like, in my head, I'm just like,
it's going to be so beautiful.
Right. And then I'm going to be like, finally, things are turning a corner. And then there was just like 7 more days of pure just hell and no sky.
So you're like, is this like normal for being here?
I remember calling my mom and being like, you're not going to believe this. I just got here and I was like, and I'm not going to see the mountains for 5 days. She's like, what? I was like, there's a fire, there's smog and smoke everywhere.
It's pretty typical, unfortunately.
Just a funny thing. The universe has a very funny sense of humor when it comes to things like that, I think.
You needed one more test.
I don't think I needed any more tests at that time.
You needed one more test.
Although that is something else it will do is like if you're like, can it throw anything else at me? It will be like,
and it did.
Actually, yes, I can. So whenever like I saw a saying where it's like when things happen, bad things happen in threes. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard that saying. I've had other people tell me that saying. But then at the flip side, I think if you say that, you're just like projecting that out there.
You can't speak it into existence. No. I've learned that the hard way.
Like you gotta take the one thing and you can't be like, what else you got? Well, okay, maybe you could say that because I think that it's like a level of like, I'm fucking over this and I'm ready.
Maybe you want to get it over with the third thing.
Maybe.
So you want to speak it into existence.
Yeah, but I think when you're like thinking about like there's gonna be 3 things, like or if you're just thinking about how bad things are, you'll just see more bad things happening. Like your mind's very weird like that, where like I know people are like saying like projection and you project things out and then it comes back. But like for real, like if you're focused on the bad things that are happening, well then you're gonna start seeing the bad things that are happening. And
it's a mindset.
It's a mindset. It is. And I'm not saying that is like, I'm trying to be insensitive and like that's how you're gonna get out of it. Like no, obviously there's some like work you got to do, and like some people are prone to not get that same like mindset and things. But like for real, like if you start focusing on some of the better things, like you will slowly start getting out of it. It's not instant. It's not like the next day, but like it does happen. Perfect example. I've talked about this enough on the podcast, it's been like one of my shticks lately.
Recurring theme.
But like I took that time off, and during that time off, I was like, I'm done with these bad things happening. I'm changing, and not only am I changing, I'm going to change for the better for the person I want to be in the future. And one of the big things I did during the first 30 days was I gratitude journaled every day.
Oh, I like
that.
No
matter what. There were some days, like again, like being as brutally honest as possible. Like there were some days that I woke up and I was like, this day already sucks. But I had to figure out, what am I thankful for on this day? There'd be days where I had my little notebook and I would have the full page written out. And I only got like a little 3x5 notebook, so nothing crazy like that big. But like there'd be days where I have all 9 lines filled out. Then there'd be a day where I'm like, I got nothing today, but I'm gonna make sure I got one thing on that list. And I would write one thing, and then that's it. At least I got something. But it like slowly started changing. I remember at the end of the 30 days, I was like, oh my God, I have like such a different outlook on things. Like, because it's also like we as people, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing where like you strive, you want something different. You're always, you're like, oh, I don't have this yet. I don't have this yet. But for me, at least, it was like such a blessing to be like, wait, I have a lot of things going for me. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I've got a lot going for me. I'm happy I got these things going for me. And then it really let me refocus on like, okay, these are the things we want to go get. Let's go get them. But let's be happy about the things we have.
No, I love that. I have to chime in on that.
Yes, of course.
I did that, like what you're talking about. I didn't write a journal like you did, which I love. But recently, maybe the past few months, I was thinking about, sometimes you just get discouraged about music. It just is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
If you're doing this and you're listening and you haven't learned yet that there are peaks and valleys, you got a big storm coming, because there are peaks and valleys in this bitch. And I would sit and be like, oh, like being just negative about music. Oh, I'm not doing good enough. Like, this isn't happening. But like, this happened and I have this. So then I kind of did what you said. I identified, okay, these are all the positive things that are going on with music. And then these are the few things that I want to go and get.
Yeah.
Which one of them was, this is maybe 2 months ago. One of them was, okay, like, what am I missing? For me, I was like, oh, what am I missing in my music project that like could help me get to the next level? And whatever next level that is to me. Okay, I need other DJs to play my music. Okay, I need this, I need that. literally would speak it into existence about other DJs playing my music.
Yeah.
And then like a week or two later, I found out Black Tiger Sex Machine closed their EDC Las Vegas and their Ultra Peru sets with my song with Joel, which is crazy.
Right.
So I think speaking things into existence is important. And I really like how you touched on, you got to identify the things that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Like actually like verbally, maybe you physically by writing them down.
Yeah, however you got to do it.
However you got to do it, I'm telling you that it works.
No, I think
it's crazy.
I think it does work, and I think it works. I've always said this too. Like, people would say, "What is that like?" Affirming, like
yes, and manifesting.
That's the word I was looking
manifesting?
for. I was looking for. Yeah, people always say like, "You can manifest anything you want."
You can.
I agree with that, but I think the other side of that sentence is you can manifest anything you want that you are working towards. Right? It's like you can't just be like,
"I want $1 million," and it just you wake up in a pool of money.
Right? You got to be like, "I want to make $1 million a year in revenue." And then you're working at that in the business. Like, it will 100%. Come. That shit will come. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's. I think that's a very important distinction because that doesn't get talked about. In my opinion, when I see those things on like YouTube and stuff, and people are like manifest. You can do this. You can do that. I'm like, yeah, but like,
what are you doing to get there?
Right.
This shit is the long game. Life in general is the long game.
The universe does reward the work that you're putting in.
100%.
I saw a quote actually that kind of pertains to this. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's such an interesting quote. I bet you'll like it. The universe is just a reflection of your thoughts.
Agreed. You basically just said that in a different way, like a couple minutes ago.
Yes,
and
but
it's
the way
so
someone said that, I was like, wow, that was like, it hit, that one hit me. When they said it like that, it was like, oh, I get it. Like your thought, again, again, you're having bad thoughts, you're just going to focus on the bad thoughts. You're having good thoughts, you're going to start focusing on the good things. Yeah, it's just very interesting when they word like that. I was like, oh yeah, this is nothing more than like whatever we make it to be. We were just whatever we want it to reflect, it will reflect.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up manifestation because I'm a big believer in that.
Okay.
But even though I think consciously I knew, I never thought about it the way you just said it, where it's about the work you're putting in. So I do this thing where if I'm not getting where I want with music, it's because I'm not working hard enough, to be honest with you. And people are like, no, like you're doing so great. Like, yeah, maybe I'm doing great, but am I doing good enough? And I could always think of it. Some people might think that that's not a good way to go about it, but it always helps me. Because I'm like, what am I not doing? I'm not doing something enough.
Yes.
And then it makes me work harder and then good things happen.
I think that is just a test to your work ethic. I don't know if it's necessarily like a bad thing. And again, like you're saying, like some people like that's a bad thing.
I think some people think it's a bad thing, but not for me.
At the same time, it's like, do they ever have that? And then
I feel like it helps me.
And then like, what are they? Right, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I get that too. I'm always like, I'm very hard on myself. Cool. And I have to do the opposite. I think for a lot of people that are just like going about life, like they don't have that reflection of like, oh, I'm not doing enough. They're just like, oh, I did everything. Mm-hmm. I think I have to do the opposite. I have to like reel it in and be like, stop being so hard on yourself. I have to like write that down. Like, forgive yourself. I remember like writing that in my journal, like, hey, forgive yourself. Because like, I would be like, because I would have a moment where I was like, oh my God, I'm just not like progressing. And it's like, no, wait, again, reflection, gratitude. Wait, I am progressing, but just not like as quick
I'm
as
the
I
same
want,
way. I'm the same
like,
way.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I'm right. Like, oh, I'm doing all the things. Okay, then relax. Stop being like, again, like, so I mean, like I had to write, forgive yourself because it was like.
Like physically on paper, you guys. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the same way where I'll be like hating on myself and I'm like, okay, I'm like literally talking to myself or talking in my head. People probably think I'm crazy. And I'm like, okay, like say I'm not posting, or maybe I'm not grinding as hard at socials. I'll be like, okay, you did not grind at all on socials last week, but it's okay only if you grind this week.
I think that's fine.
That's what I will do as well. So
yeah, I
just feel like it's helped my project grow. Like a couple months ago, like with the big, I need DJs to play my songs. I need to come out with an EP. That was another one. I was like, okay, people seem to like edits. Like I need to come out with an edit pack. Like I identified all these things that I felt like, and I learned that.
Is that what EP stands for?
No. Okay. Edit pack? Oh no. Whoops. That was cool though, but no.
I was just like, this whole time I thought it was
No. I don't know what EP stands for, but
I always thought it was extended playlist, but then that doesn't make any sense because it's not ever long.
We can spread a rumor. It stands for extended playlist for those who are listening. Yeah. But I learned from a Jaws interview a couple years ago. He was talking about, I think it was on Back to Back with Willie Joy. I don't know if you've ever heard that podcast. Mm-mm. It's so good. And Jaws is talking about in his early days, Like he would just be jealous of people and compare himself to people. Why am I not as, you know, big as them? And so-and-so's not playing my song. And then he just realized it's me. Yeah. Like I'm the,
I'm in my own way.
It's so easy to blame other people for your problems and like project, oh, well, they just want to book like this type of DJ and like they don't realize how awesome I am. And like my music's so good. I don't get why people don't, you know, see it or whatever. Yeah. I think that's normal for you to think that way if you're an artist. But Jaws was like, no, dude, it's me. Right. Like I'm the reason, like there's clearly something I'm either doing or I'm not doing that is in my way. And ever since I heard him say that, I adopted that like on my own with my music project. Yeah. Of like, okay, what am I not doing that like I should be doing or that I see other people do?
Well, also like, you know, on that like life, like we talked about like living your authentic self and like doing the things you want to do, but also like on that same sentence, on that same flip side, like life also becomes really easy when you take your accountability. So it's just it takes everything else out the window. You're just like, oh yeah, it's just me. All right,
I'm the accountability queen. I'm the first person to be like, fuck yeah, I did that. Yeah. Whether I'm sorry or not, I'm going to admit to it straight up. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. That was on me. Especially with music.
I would argue you get farther in life that way than not, personally. Because I think if you can't be accountable, then you'll continuously make a lot of the same mistakes over and over again. Like it's just like the same scenarios will happen again and again until you eventually learn them or till you die. Like legit. Like I believe that.
I think it has to do with self-awareness too. I feel like we talked about this last year on the pod a little bit too. Self-awareness.
Probably. It's a big theme of the pod.
It's a big theme. Accountability and self-awareness go together, and especially in music. Like if you're not self-aware and taking accountability over your music project, you're just like not going to be able to do this. Yeah. Sometimes I fuck up and my management's like, bro, what's your vibe right now? And I'm like, sorry, like I'm fucking up. Like you know, maybe I didn't follow through with something I say I was going to do. I'm like, okay, I need to not lie to myself. I don't need to gaslight myself. I just need to own up to it and then follow through and like learn from it.
Yeah, 100%.
By having self-awareness.
100%.
As Lil Wayne said, we have to turn those L's into lessons.
That's true. I'm making sure I lock the mic. These mics are great, but sometimes you touch them and then they mute themselves. We're good though. Honestly, I think
you're floored by the Lil Wayne comment, aren't you? Yeah, turn those L's into lessons.
He's got some other good ones.
Yeah, he does.
He's got some other good ones. I think we're gonna end it on that though.
Okay.
Because I think it's a great way to end it. Okay. Tell everyone EP, what day it's out, and where they can get it.
No Limits EP, July 25th, 2025. Available everywhere that you can listen to music, quite literally. And the No Limits EP is no rules, all gas, no breaks. We're gonna be our authentic self and make whatever music we want.
I love that. We love the authenticity. Big theme of the pod. Thank you for doing this again.
I appreciate you having me on. Time? I would love to come on a third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll talk about after. Yeah. I've got lofty goals I have to hit, so I need some peeps. All right. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Love having you on. Bye everybody. Peace. Peace now. Just kidding.